Nigeria is on the front lines of the global fight against corruption. At the heart of this mission is the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission, ICPC, led by Dr. Musa Adamu Aliyu, SAN. Over the past year, his leadership has redefined Nigeria's approach to combating corruption both locally and globally. This documentary reflects on Dr. Aliyu's first year in office, highlighting his reforms, achievements, and the challenges ICPC has faced. Join us as we explore the story behind Nigeria's fight for integrity.
Okay, my vision for the ICPC is to consolidate what the previous leaders of this commission did, and also for me to improve what they have done. That's why I came up with a policy which I call it CARE, which means CARE means for culture, accountability, responsibility, and efficiency, because I want to ensure that ICPC maintain its good culture and also to be an agency which is accountable, responsible to Nigeria, and also efficient in discharging its responsibility. This has been my policy since I assumed office on the 17th of December 2023.
From the very beginning, he made his intention clear that he was going to lead from the front. He was going to introduce technology, going to leverage on technology to fight corruption.
So the most impactful changes I brought to ICPC one is digital transformation. Because I made ICPC, it has its own digital roadmap, but it is not as I want it to be. So I have paid much attention, because you cannot fight corruption in this era without a focus on technology. So that's an area whereby we have done a lot by building infrastructure and also trying to build capacity of our own staff so that they can now be on the same page wherever in the world that technology is being used in the fight against corruption.
When he came, he looked at our roadmap and he felt this is not much to him. So what he did was to come with a different agenda, what we call digital transformation agenda. What it means is to automate all our activities, operation, and what have you. This entails petition movement, case management, archiving.
The chairman has boldly put in a vision for transforming how the ICPC works in terms of enabling digital capabilities for its core mandates of education and enlightenment, investigation and prosecution.
Everything is now technology-based these days. So we're trying to improve the capacity of our operatives, how to be able to use technology to detect crimes. We're having forensic units. They are busy in that regard in some technical aspects.
He has already improved on our digital forensic unit. Things that could not be ascertained before, with this present dynamic in technology, we can be able to examine phones, get evidences, computers, and what have you.
To maintain the momentum, Dr. Aliyu has invested heavily in building the capacity of the ICPC workforce. Training programs have been designed to equip staff with the tools and knowledge needed to tackle increasingly complex cases.
I can tell you that we improved training. In the first 1 year in this administration, I can tell you that we have had about 398 persons or thereabout that have attended training within and outside the country. and we pick them randomly without knowing where you come from. In fact, I had to ask them to give me a template of all the staff we pick, and depending on the area of training that we pick and send people on, and they're happy.
Upon assumption of office, Dr. Aliyu determined that training will be of utmost importance to all that he will be doing. And so he gave directive that he would want to enhance the quality of training. Icpc has been in training, they have an academy, but you can never ever do enough. You must continue to train, and to train.
In an organization like this, training and retraining is very important. The issue of technology, things are moving very fast, so they need to catch up. We have today, as part of our training activities, or to enhance the manpower of the organization, as I speak to you, 110 staffs of the commission, they are in 177 Battalion, Kefi, now for the armed squad training. This, for the very first time, we are training officers to bear arms. We are now building our own in-house armed personnel to be able to assist us in carrying out our mandate. These are some of the things we are doing to, to see how we can improve from where our predecessors left off.
The training arm of the commission is also doing very well. Recently, I was part of a team that was tasked to develop a training curriculum for cadets of the commission. And I must say that that's the first time this is happening. So we have developed the curriculum, and by the time we deploy that curriculum the way it is, the cadets, those that are yet to come, and even those that are in the commission already, because we train and retrain the officers of the commission, I'm sure it will put the commission in a very, very strategic position to carry out its mandate.
I look at how I want to improve the function of the commission. So, and from that, we are able to draw on the strategic action plan for 2024 to 2028, whereby we have linked it with the National Anti-Corruption Strategy, which it has 5 pillars to ensure that, one, we involve people, that is public engagement, ethical orientation, and the issue of focus on asset recovery, and also to ensure that we use the issue of law enforcement and sanction in the fight against corruption in Nigeria.
When the chairman came, one of his drive was digitization of the commission, because he believes that you cannot fight corruption going the traditional way. You need to be digitally compliant. So with his digitization drive, he ventured into the integrated payroll system of the country, that is IPPIS, in order to look at the workability of the system and to ensure that there are no leakages. And through that process, I can boldly tell you that the commission was able to recover over 21 billion naira, which are monies that have been diverted as a result of ghost workers syndrome and the rest.
With regards to constituency and executive project tracking initiative, the Icpc initiated this constituency and executive project division to, number one, enhance accountability in the body polity. The Icpc believe that government funding of projects are always put in the budget every year. With regards to the budget that the government does every year, trillions of naira, there's no correspondent link between the budgetary aspect and the implementation of of the budget. So the projects that are in the budget, how far are they implemented? So it is in this wise that the Icpc decided that government-funded projects must be tracked.
The most significant achievement in the past year has been the resolution of several high-profile corruption cases. these cases have reshaped the perception of justice in Nigeria.
When petitions come in, it's assigned to the operations department, then to any of the investigating divisions. After, well, if it's a high-profile case, normally lawyers are attached to advise investigators on steps to take, and once the case is assigned to them, after investigation, they bring the files to the legal department. And when they bring the file to the legal department, just as it is done in the larger society, when the police investigate, they send to the DPP for legal advice. That's what they send to the legal department. We go through the file, and where we see that there's an offense committed, we prefer charges and take the person to court.
We receive most of our cases by way of petition, of course by way of intelligence report as well. So when they come, we look at the evidence before us as contained in the petition, in the witness statements and the complainant statement and what have you. And we'll be able to, in our opinion, find out whether a prima facie case has been established to warrant prosecution.
The Special Services Department occupies a unique role in the Commission in that it is the gatekeeper of the Commission, which means that for every petition that is received by the Commission, it comes through the Special Services Department for assignment of numbers, which is a unique identification for each petition, so that we don't have duplication of petitions, and then processing. Then for the processing, we have to vet the petitions to be sure that they are within the Commission's mandate for investigation. And when it's not within the Commission's mandate for investigation, it is referred to any law enforcement agency that has that mandate. Otherwise, it is closed.
One of the challenges you always get is when you are investigating politically exposed persons, especially those who hold political office. The first charge is that you've been put to that by their distractors. It's a political witch hunt and all that. But we're not distracted by that. We work with facts. And at the end of the day, we are going to lay the facts bare. And if there is need for us to go to court, we do that. If it is a case that does not involve going to court, like the constituency and executive project tracking we do, for instance, where we say a job has not been executed according to the bill of quantity and all that, we compel the contractor to do so.
And with high-profile cases, a lot of people will tell you, for you to have a successful prosecution, the investigation must be very, very, very thorough, because you are most of them dealing with politically exposed persons, and most of them they have the wherewithal to hire the best lawyers. So you have to make sure, even when the files come, when you look at, you have a 70-30 chance of conviction. No, you must have at least, I like using the 195 to 5% chance of conviction.
But the fight against corruption is not limited to courtrooms and international forums. The ICPC has taken the battle to the people through educational campaigns and grassroots advocacy.
Yeah, for the Public Enlightenment and Education Department, since Dr. Ali came into office, we have tried as much as possible to recalibrate, to re-engineer our process. And this we started by the development of a modern communication strategy that has been done under its leadership.
Within the commission now, you have young people that are taking responsibility for some of the work that is being done around engagement with citizens. For instance, the Ethics Pod, which is a podcast that is meant to promote ethics and integrity in Nigeria by bringing the conversation down to the streets and down to the ordinary man, was established.
We have been engaging people because within the last 1 year, we have reached out to over 1.4 million Nigerians in the sensitization in order to reduce the problem of corruption in this country through various platforms, through our own engagements, social media platforms, and other avenues to try to reach out to them and to talk to them about the problem of corruption. And also, we have also reached out even to the public officers too, chief executives and other public officials in various fora, try to sensitize them on the problem of corruption in this country.
Servicom has achieved a lot in service delivery, first by raising awareness of all staff in all department units of the Commission that they are here to serve Nigerians. We identified who our customers are, visitors, suspects, witnesses, contractors, students, youth, anybody that steps into this compound. And we identify the different services that we render to them, as well as how we render these services to them, and we put timelines to the time it should take us to render services. That has greatly improved our services in ICPC.
One other thing that Dr. Aliyu brought is that, yes, let us communicate anti-corruption in the local language of the people. We have, in the next couple of weeks, we are going to go on air with jingles in 5 major languages: Pidgin English, English language itself. We are going to do Yoruba, we are going to do Hausa, we are going to do Igbo. At least 5 covered now. We are still going to expand. And this will be heard in the states because we now have access to the media in the state as a result of the collaboration with the state government.
What we want is for the policies that will help deal with all the corrupt practices that we are grappling with, all the challenges that we have and the negative impact of it, once accepted and it permeates the entire federation, and as a policy we begin to pursue them, we begin to implement them, we educate and sensitize the people. And let me say this, there are people who do things that are wrong that don't even know that they are wrong.
They have achieved a lot in terms of preventing corruption under his leadership, because they have inculcated prevention of corruption in the minds of students, young people, which I think is very important for our future generation, because our young people, unfortunately, have not been able to see any body that they will see as a hero, as an exemplary person to lead a decent and honest life in Nigeria now.
We have organized and supported schools debates. We had our own that we did, and awards were given to students that did very well. We organized debates, and some development partners partnered with us to even do that. CISLAC is one of them. And we have assisted some other organizations to do debates too, especially when it has to do with anti-corruption crusade.
ICPC has also strengthened Nigeria's role on the global stage, particularly through the partnership with the international anti-corruption bodies.
There is issue of asset recovery. This is an area where which I also focus on, because it is very important for us to ensure that the process of crime, we do not allow those who engage in corruption to go out with the process of crime. That's an area where we focus, because we need the resources so that we can build infrastructure. As a result of that, this month on 6th of November, I was elected the chairperson of Africa Asset Recovery Practitioners Forum, whereby I have the responsibility of coordinating all the anti-corruption agencies in Africa and asset recovery institutions to ensure that we identify assets stolen and taken out of Africa or within Africa.
In order to efficiently manage recovered assets, the department is structured into 2 divisions. We have the division that is responsible for assets tracing, investigation, tracking and recovery on the one hand. Then we also have a division that is responsible for asset management and disposal.
Then the first area Icpc looks at is those projects that are impactful on governance, that are impactful on citizenry, especially agriculture, road infrastructure, health, facility, education, and power.
We've carried out a lot of work in auditing the Icpc payment platform of the federal government, and we trying to sanitize the platform. There have been several complaints about some irregularities there and some. We have been able to recover a major part of that. If you have been following the news, you have read about the recoveries we've made in that respect. Over 22 billion have been recovered for the federal government in that regard, and the process is still ongoing.
Sometimes when these monies or these infractions are made, they move them outside the country. And how do you retrieve them back? You need the collaboration of those agencies and countries outside Nigeria to be able to help you in repatriation of the monies and what have you. So you cannot just be here in Nigeria and no, there must be that collaboration which must have been established over time.
Despite these successes, the Icpc has faced significant challenges, from legal hurdles to public resistance. But under Dr. Aliu's leadership, these challenges have been met with resilience.
Yes, fighting corruption is not easy, because as we know that those who engage in corruption, they are really unified and also they are powerful. So if I can say the most challenging issue I have for the past 1 year is trying to convince people that we need to work together, because Nigerians need to know that this fight against corruption is not only for corruption agencies, it is for all of us, because people need to support us.
There are other challenges that we face in carrying out our function. For instance, when we are trying to recover a property or an asset, there's this problem in Nigeria. You buy a property, you enter into, there's a power of attorney transferring the property to you, but you fail. Most Nigerians will not even go to the land registry to register the property in their name. So you see a property that has been sold by 2-3 persons is still bearing the original allottee. So that's the first problem we face, how to know who is actually the current owner of the property.
The impact of Icpc's effort over the past year is evident, not just in numbers, but in the voices of those who have been touched by the Commission's work.
Has come to sustain and also build on what his predecessors had done. So I believe that the Icpc is doing quite well.
I see the departments growing in leaps and bounds, meaning that better days are ahead for the departments.
You know, when you talk about reducing corruption or enhancing accountability, this is the way to go. It is about tracking government projects. By tracking a government project, you are not only reducing corruption, you are enhancing accountability and transparency, and you are now making people, the citizenry, to enjoy government funding.
You know, 1 year was like a learning period, but I think we have stabilized. And I can tell you, by this time next year, if you come, you see a different Icpc.
Within the 1 year, we have been able to recover close to 21 billion naira. And also, there are interventions which we made, which we saved Nigerian government over 10 billion naira. And also, we have tracked over 1,500 projects, whereby if not because of us, those projects might not have been executed the way it was supposed to be done. So, and also we like I said, the issue of digital transformation, these are things that I want to consolidate. And also in the area of law enforcement and sanction, this is also another area where we are going to also upscale our investigation, and also the issue of prosecution in court, so that those who are found to have been breached the law, we will ensure that we have taken them before the court of law and also to face trial.
This is just the beginning. The journey continues, and the future of Nigeria depends on the fight for justice and integrity.